do you ever watch the news anymore and just go, I mean, I don't even recognize things anymore. You wait until tomorrow's show. It'll boggle your mind. We're watching a circus. It's a sideshow. The media is the ring. They might have let's just make the media Barnum and Bailey. Look what's happening now, right now in New York. Look at this. These are the clowns that participated last night in the governor's race. We have the Republican candidate, Carl Palladino. Then we have Jimmy McMillan over here from the Rent is Too Damn High party. Then we have Andrew Cuomo, the Democrat. Then sitting next to him, a former Black Panther, Charles Barron. Green Party candidate, Howie Hawkins. Kristen Davis, she's this woman. I thought it was the cat lady. You know that lady from New York who's like, what, I just wanted my husband to love me. This woman's got so much Botox in her, she might be toxic. I'm not even sure. The former Manhattan Madam who provided hookers to Elliot Spitzer, who I hear has a new show on. Maybe it might be on for another night. And Libertarian candidate Warren Redlich. Okay. This is the best we can do. Can we outsource our governor's office to, I was going to say New Jersey. I mean, he could do it. Chris Christie can run both states. I'll take India. We call up the state and we're like, hello, yes. I'm cool with that. How about you? Then in other states, we have Alvin Green. This is good. Now this guy, he's running for the United States Senate against Jim DeMint, being interviewed on MSNBC. Here is the circus. Here's Lawrence O'Donnell. Remember, we're talking about our republic. Here's Lawrence O'Donnell spending 6 minutes getting to know this guy.
There's a first question that all Senate candidates have to answer this year, and that is, of course, are you a witch?
No, first I want to remind everyone that DeMint started the recession.
Your nickname in high school, I'm told, was Turtle. Does that tell us, and where did that come from, and does that tell us anything about how this race might end up?
Well, DeMint started the recession. DeMint is responsible for the recession. DeMint started the recession, and DeMint started the recession. DeMint started the recession, and DeMint started the recession. He's responsible for the recession.
Yeah. Okay, this went on for 6 minutes. And then, just to make sure you are watching a clown show, here's what O'Donnell tells him.
Well, I got to tell you, I don't think Jim DeMint personally started the recession, but I do think Alvin Green still better than Jim DeMint.
Well, Lawrence, Larry, can I call you Larry? Or did I like to call you Lawrence at the club? I'm sure that boosted your credibility. And don't forget, we also have Levi Johnson now going on The View because he's decided he's going to run for the mayor of Wasilla.
You want to be the mayor of Wasilla? What is your platform? What do you what can you do that no one else can do? Why should they vote for you as mayor?
At this point in time, I couldn't tell you. It's very. When I said I was running for mayor, what, a month ago?
Oh, I haven't had time to think about mayor for a month. They don't get up and walk away from that. See, this is why politicians are irrelevant. The political process has become Survivor. We should hand them a tiki. Here's the good news. There are good candidates out there, but you don't ever hear about them. No, why cover them? Let's just cover the clown show. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to break with tradition. We're going to show you some of the good ones next.
Weekends. Judge Napolitano is on the case, policing big government, exposing bureaucrats, safeguarding your rights.
From Capitol happenings to Supreme Court surprises, we're in the middle of it all.
Freedom Watch with Judge Napolitano on Fox Business.
All right. You have, you've been seeing a lot of clowns on television and what the media decides to cover, but that doesn't usually give you an awful lot of hope. Well, let me give you some candidates that I think inspire a lot of people. You've heard about the Tea Party favorite, the guy who could never win, Marco Rubio in Florida. But let me ask you this. Have you ever heard of Justin Amash in Michigan's 3rd District? He's the only state lawmaker to post an explanation of every vote that he cast on his Facebook page. It's called transparency. He's a 30-year-old guy married with 3 kids. He opposed bailouts, tax increases, and mandatory health coverage. And get this, Mr. John Conyers, I love people who say, read the bill. Justin says he's not going to support a bill that he hasn't been given time to read. What kind of crazy idea is that? And he won't sign a bill or sign on to a bill if it doesn't move things in the direction of his principles, which are limited government, free markets, and individual liberty. I love these people who say individual liberty. Yeah. We cover that guy? No. Instead, we focus the attention of the media on witches and masturbation. It's great. But that doesn't tell you anything, really. I mean, do you want to be the pro-masturbation candidate? I mean, that's cool. You can do that and everything. Hey, MSNBC, you guys should become the pro-masturbation channel. That'd be great. You could champion that. I say leave yourself alone for a little while. Why don't you accomplish something with your life? But maybe that's just me. Is that too harsh? Well, they're talking about that. They're not telling you about Alan West. He's a candidate that I don't necessarily agree with everything I've heard him say, but I know this. He's a man of integrity. You know who this guy is? Why doesn't everybody know who he is? Lieutenant Colonel in the U.S. Army in Iraq. Troops were under attack. He got intel that they were planning attack. They captured the bad guy, the terrorist. He wouldn't speak. He's like, I'm not, you're just Americans. You're not. So West took him outside, told everybody else to leave. He blindfolded the terrorist. He told all the other troops to leave. So he was alone. And he said to the terrorist, I'm going to kill you if you don't tell me what's going to happen. Because my guys, their lives are at stake. Tourist said, you Americans, you're not... West fired a bullet near the guy's head. Terrorist wet his pants, I believe, and then started to talk. That's usually the way it happens. Gave up valuable information about the upcoming attacks. Well, what happened then? West tried to cover it up? No. West walked directly to report the entire story to his superior officer. He said, that's just the way it is. I want you to know and hear it from me. I did it, and I did it by myself. By the way, here's the intel. He may have been wrong. May have been wrong. I don't think so. You might think so. He may have been wrong. But at least he had the courage of his convictions, and he took the blame himself. He made sure nobody else was involved. And then he did the right thing. He took the consequences. He had a hearing. He was asked if he would do it again, and he said, yes, if it's about the lives and safety of my men. Quote, I would go through hell with a gasoline can. He was relieved of command. That's too bad. But he did retire with a full military pension. Why is it that a country that is rampant with greed and corruption, we have 30 congressmen, 30, who sleep in their offices because they can't afford to pay for their home and a D.C. resident, but they're too embarrassed to even tell their staff. Yes, if you're watching on Capitol Hill right now, check your office and see if there's a pillow in there. 30 congressmen currently sleep in their office. Many of them have told me I haven't said anything to anybody because, well, my staff, it's better they just think that I'm the first in and the last to leave. They just think I work real hard. I'm embarrassed to tell them. They should be proud of that sacrifice. Mr. Smith goes to Washington. But do we pursue that? Do we know? Do they even feel comfortable saying that? No. Because we live in a world now that's too busy encouraging a hooker and a guy wearing spooky black gloves to a televised indoor debate to get more attention. You don't kick a man when he's down. And America is down. And the media is standing there, and so are the political parties, kicking us in the head over and over and over again. Well, you know what? I think America deserves a little better than that. I think you do too. You go out and you find your Alan West. You do your homework. You look for a man or a woman with honor and integrity. You may not agree with them on everything, but you find someone who listens to God, somebody who listens to good, somebody who's not listening to special interest. I'm going to do a show here in a couple of weeks just for those people who are going into battle in Washington, D.C. I don't care what party you're in. They're going to try to co-opt you. This is a special interest game. That's all it is. Money and power is at stake. And if you think you can win and just, I'm going to be Mr. Smith, you're wrong. You're going to need the American people behind you, and you're going to need God's help. And you're going to need to have the courage of your convictions. You're going to need to not be embarrassed by anything. You're going to sleep in your office? Good. Sleep in your office. The people will support you. Now, if you can't find that person, you can't find that Alan West running for office in your area, then you know what? Find the Alan West in yourself and vote. Back in a minute. I want to show you a guy that here in New York people are talking about, Jimmy McMillan. He's running for governor of New York for the Rent is Too Damn High party. I want you to listen to his platform.
Allow me to introduce myself. I represent the Rent is Too Damn High party. People are working 8 hours a day and 40 hours a week and some a third job. Women can't afford to take care of their children, feed their children breakfast, lunch, and dinner. My main job is to provide a roof over your head, food on the table, and money in your pocket.
Okay. I have to tell you, I actually love this guy. Don't want him managing anything. But there'll be a lot of people that actually will listen to this, not this time, but maybe the next election. They will listen to this. And what he was talking about there was basically universal housing and food and everything else. This is not a new idea and not a new warning that I'm going to give you. This is going to be tomorrow's show. I know we were going to say this tonight, but we went through this. We believe this is there are only 2 copies of this in America, and a viewer sent this to me. The other one is in the archives in Washington, D.C., or in the Agriculture Department archives. 1936, Recovery and Re-election or Radicalism. It was prepared, if you can shoot right here, it was prepared for Franklin Delano Roosevelt, FDR. It is amazing, and I just want to read one thing to you. It is, we therefore must make real headway towards substantial recovery or expect radicalism in 1936. It goes on and it talks about the different things that they should do. It's an amazing, I'm going to spend an hour on this tomorrow. You will not believe what's happening. They say that things are becoming, the crackpots are becoming more and more dangerous. The situation is rapidly becoming more serious than we realize. We seem to forget that men and women who suffer from economic maladjustments reach a frame of mind in which reason plays a very little part. So in other words, they can't reason, they can't think, they're suffering. Where have I heard that before? 1936, history tomorrow. It will blow your mind. Don't miss it. I'm going to do something next week that I haven't done ever before. Release a book. This one is called Broke. It's in 3 sections. It is the history, how bad it really is, and where we go from here. Broke. Bookstores next Tuesday. From New York, good night, America.